Hello everybody, my name is Aceface. I'm using my Golem to hunt some Triglavians. I've actually been recently doing quite a bit of Triglavian hunting. I was thinking of moving to Nullsec, in fact, doing another campaign down there in Nullsec. Thing is, with my corp, it's a bit... it's stuff right now after all that war and everything with Imperium. It's a bit unsure of what is going to be permanent and what's going to be, like, for the long run is going on in Nullsec. So I'm holding off for a bit for that. But I've actually been having a lot of fun recently, like, just with the people in my corporation doing these kind of Triglavian hunting. So right now I'm doing it solo, but I have from time to time been running with people in my corp. I've been running with a guy who was doing it in a paladin. It was really fun, and I've sort of optimized my fit slightly. The thing is, with my fit, I've got these two salvages, the Tech 2 salvages, and I found that two Tech 2 salvages and a tractor beam is actually very optimal for doing these Triglavian hunting with the speed which I do them at, because I'm pretty much able to salvage at just the right speed so that I'm salvaging and killing them at the same rate. So it's not like there's accumulating wrecks and I'm not salvaging them too fast that I maybe sacrifice some other kind of utility. Perhaps I could have even had a third salvager, but what I mean is I'm not salvaging them too fast that like my MTU can't pull them in fast enough. So it's just the right speed, and this tractor beam can also help when I'm salvaging a little bit too fast, because sometimes I do salvage it a bit too fast that the wrecks that are far away take a bit of time for them to be pulled in. So then my tractor beam, it helps with that. It helps them get pulled in a bit quicker. So we're going to go out here and hunt Triglavians. This system actually had some Triglavians earlier, or like about half an hour ago. I was just hunting in my interceptor. I was looking for them, and I found some Triglavians and also found a Triglavian wormhole. Hopefully the Triglavian wormhole is still here, because they usually last for a whole day. Probe scanner YLZ Trig worm. Yes, okay, it's still here. I think we might have to siege the wormhole. I think we'll do that at least, because the last time I checked, I saw Triglavians at the wormhole, and it is quite important to destroy them, because otherwise they won't spawn that big fleets. So a good thing is that if you mark the wormhole and you want to run it later, put the like tag here, because I put YLZ. Trig wormy. So then I know that, okay, I see YLZ, so then I know that, okay, yeah, it's still here, because if there wasn't any YLZ here, then I know that, okay, the wormhole is despawned, because they have happened sometimes. Yesterday I was actually running some Triglavian hunting, and I thought the wormhole was going to last a lot longer. I was doing stuff, and then I came back maybe an hour and a half later, and just the wormhole was gone, just like that. And having this kind of tag system will help a lot with that, because I didn't do that, so I had to actually warp with my slow marauder to the wormhole. And or actually, no, I didn't even warp. I just I think I scanned it down with my little scanning frigate, so I had to like switch ships and scan it again, and I didn't find the wormhole. So it helps to have this, like the tag or code name here. Okay, so it seems like we got some stuff here. Alright, so what we're going to want to do here is just activate all these modules, Bastion up, and we're going to go to crazy on these guys. Oh, Caldari Navy. Yeah, Caldari Navy is best on cruisers and smaller, and that's what we've got right here. Sometimes I will use it on the battle cruisers as well, but cruisers lower, usually best to use the Caldari Navy. We'll take some boosters in right here. These are cheap boosters. Total cost of using all these three is like 2 point something million. Those are pretty cheap. Use D-scan as well just to see what is here on the grid. So we saw some Leshaks. So that could mean that there are also some, like, you know, other fleets nearby. But that's usually the case. There's usually some fleets still nearby, even if you haven't destroyed the wormhole fleet. But it's just that they'll spawn more, I think, if you actually go and destroy this one. This is the best way to farm them fast, because otherwise I don't think they'll spawn a whole lot. And usually what I notice is that, like, when you destroy, like, this is now anecdotal stuff, it's not stuff that I've confirmed by reading somewhere or something like that, but I sort of find that when you destroy the wormhole fleet, it takes, and then there's usually maybe one fleet that was already there, like say we saw that there was some Leshaks here. So we go here, you see there's some Leshak fleet right here. So usually what I find is that you go and destroy this wormhole fleet, and then you find maybe some fleets that were already here before, so you destroy them, and then it'll take a bit of time. You have to wait a bit, maybe like even half an hour or something like that. But then after that, half an hour or something, then they'll start spawning in like crazy, like spawning in fleets after fleets. They'll just keep going until like the wormhole is destroyed. So I think it will be the case that after this wormhole is destroyed, we can go to these other fleets, just check them out, but I don't think they'll be spawning in a whole lot more after that. We'll have to probably do some other time, maybe in the future, in a bit, like, well, I mean in the future, in like an hour or so, if we were to hunt more. But luckily, it seems like there's lots of big Leshak fleets in systems, so that's very nice. Okay, we've got, look, we see here we salvage pretty quickly when we've got the Tech 2 salvages going on, so that's pretty quick. Like you see here, we're salvaging at the same speed almost as we destroy them. So it's very nice to see this. Look at that shield boosting from that golem right there, really delicious. You don't even have to think about the ninja salvages because I salvage them so quickly, so it's really good. I mean, obviously I think a ninja salvager could get them, but especially it's easy for a ninja salvager to come here afterwards, because if they come here afterwards, then it's obviously going to be safe for them, because if they go here during like mid-combat, then there's like a risk that potentially the Triglavians could switch to them and they could die. But if they come afterwards, then there's almost no risk. So we're getting it all done beforehand. It's very good. Now this Dynamic is taking a long time to destroy because it is the Hospital Liminal. This is the worst type, or not worst, but like the most difficult the type of Triglavian you can find in these kind of Triglavian fleets is the Hospital Liminals, because Liminals have more HP and damage than the standard ones. And then there's, and that is even a step higher than because there's the Rasenborg, which is the weakest. Then you've got the standard ones with no like name, and then you've got the Hospodar, which are like the boss or like the strong ones. But then you've also got liminal ones. Another level is that they limit. You can have like liminal something. If something's got liminal, that means they do more damage. So there's also another level. So having Hospodar and liminal together is like a very powerful Triglavian. It basically tells you that is a Triglavian to reckon with. So that's why you'll also notice they take a longer time to destroy, and they also actually do more damage as well. So this is look at, we're salvaging at the same rate as us destroying. It was really nice. And I also have realized that the drone aggro is not that bad in these sites. I don't always use the drones, but from time to time, actually let's recall them because I see you use the yellow box or something. From time to time they do shoot the drones, but I've many times gone to many of these encounters and not had a single drone aggression. And I think it's because they aggress mostly the salvage drones. Like when I deploy salvage drones, they always aggress them. But when I deploy normal drones, very rarely. Like you can see here, these guys are going crazy on these Dynamics. Nothing much is really happening right here. So yeah, I've been actually using these drones quite a bit to just get some little extra DPS. And they obviously hardly do anything. They're just Tech 2 light drones, but they're still nice to have. Nice to have some little complementary DPS. Oh, we got a little bit of an extra fleet spawning in right here. Good that we've got the... Oh, we're going to do a bit of damage right here. Boop, boosting up right there. And we shouldn't even waste time on this one right here, to be honest. Look, we're hardly doing any damage to this guy because of the application is very bad. But we'll just finish them off. Got lots of cruisers that suddenly spawned in right there. You can, yeah, Hospital Liminal Vedmak will don't take this guy out. He's doing the most damage. These Rasenborg guys, we'll notice here is that they'll all die pretty quickly. We destroy them very quickly, and they also do less damage. So the Hospodars are really the ones that will take a long time to kill and also do a lot of damage. They do EM damage a lot as well. You can see here they do quite a bit of EM damage. I think it's because they got these missiles that do EM damage. They make so you can't just tank one resist type. You have to, or two resist types. You have to tank multiple ones. And even though we're not cap stable with this fit, it's no issue. Like the Marauder with dual cap batteries naturally has a pretty strong capacitor. And then on top of that, we also have, like, we don't have to use our booster continuously. Like you can see here, on DPS is usually only very hot for a short amount of time. And then as soon as we've destroyed them, then it's really quite smooth sailing. So you never really have to have full capacitor when doing the, or like a stable capacitor when doing these kind of things. It's usually, oh, you can recall that drone, so I don't know if these new guys can just deploy them again, perhaps. Maybe this Dracovac here. Now here, actually, a Dracovac, it would be better to use Rage Torpedoes, but it's alright. It's just one Dracovac, no point in really wasting the time to have to reload, but just, I've noticed that it's a tiny bit better to use the Rage Torpedoes, because it is quite a bit more DPS. We have 16 or 1700 pretty much DPS when we are going with the Caldari Navy. Then when we, oh, you see there's a lot more NPC spawning. And then when we have Rage, you have 2.3k DPS, so it's quite a big DPS boost we get right there. You can have the drones go for this Hospital Liminal. Guy's going to take quite a bit of time to destroy. A lot of small stuff actually. Have we got any guidance disruptors? Because they can be quite annoying. Because I think, I don't know if they've updated it or it's just a new thing that, or maybe I just didn't actually encounter it before. But before, you would have guidance. I would never notice guidance disruptors, but now I do actually notice it quite a bit. Guidance disruptor guys, and they can be quite annoying for tracking. So I tried to take them out because it really makes stuff go a lot slower. You have worse range, also worse application. Just generally speaking, not a good time. Especially since torpedoes are not the best application. I mean, we've got a decent application with this really good target paint we've got right here, but still, it's not the best. We can. It seems like, you know, we take a lot of damage, but we boost so good, so it's really no issue at all. I have sometimes come close here when I was not really paying too much attention. Then it can sometimes get low, but it's really, you got to be alert when you're doing these sites because the DPS can come in very quick, very hot, very suddenly. This golem has like almost 5k DPS tank when this is active, and like I think 3k DPS tank when it's taking into the fact that I'm pulsing this. So there is a lot of tank on this ship right here. It's a tanky boy. I would have loved to go passive tank, have a big buffer, but it's difficult achieving that HP per second tank needed to really tank these sites. So that's why I go with the active tank. Otherwise, I would really like to use a passive tank. It would have been nice having a nice buffer, you know, to be a buff of safety. It's alright. You can't have everything. And also feels quite nice having like 5k DPS tank. So it's a pretty satisfying experience seeing these kind of boosts right here. Look at these boosts, like so good. You can even start salvaging more things because you can never forget about the salvaging. You do one cycle here because the Damaviks, they orbit just outside 6 kilometers. You'll notice this. You have 6 kilometer range. They orbit just out, like you see, 6,100 meters. So I have to do one tiny salvage cycle with this tractor beam. Oh, not salvage cycle, I mean tractor cycle. Then it makes it so that they could, you know, are in range. So it's very useful to have at least one tractor beam, and usually I think it's a good idea to at least have one tractor beam on a Marauder, because the Marauders, they have a natural bonus to tractor beams, make them go faster, so they will actually go faster than a standard MTU. I'm not sure about the Magpie MTU, like the special storyline one or the special one. I think maybe it's the same speed as those, but at least it's faster than a normal MTU that we've got here. We're going a little bit cheap with the basic MTU right here. I wonder how much actually we will get from this, because there's a lot of hospodars. One thing to know about the hospodars is that they also give a little bit better loot than the standard Triglavians as well. So they take a little bit longer to destroy, but they have a lot better loot. And they also have the possibility of dropping this Triglavian holographic transcribers, and those guys are actually very good because they are worth like 19 or something million. So quite a bit of ISK right there you can get from just one little module right there. So you can just open up this, take this filament right here. You can see that we already had quite a bit of stuff right here. Okay, start salvaging this thing. There we go. And there seems to be that we've now completed this. Now there's pretty much only these NPCs right here. I think we got tick as well, I think. That indicates they've been destroyed. Oh, they're like the site has been completed. We can start salvaging. Can't forget salvaging. Salvaging, very important. Look at the golem. I think the golem, like people have said in the comments, the golem looks like an actual spaceship, and I do think it actually looks like an actual spaceship. Like, it doesn't look at all aerodynamic, and like it looks like almost like a space station, so to say. Because I mean, who needs to care about like wings and that kind of stuff? I mean, it does have some sort of wings, but it doesn't look like wings that are made to be aerodynamic. I think it looks like a really nice artillery platform with all these missiles it's got. And we've got the Tech 2 salvage drones as well. Deploy them, but it is. I think it looks quite mighty, this golem, especially in the Kala Kyoto skin, this red and black one as well. I think it looks pretty decent. Oh, I'm boosting. I shouldn't be boosting so much. Wasting capacitor. So we've almost salvaged everything here. There we go. Okay, let's see how much we got. I'm guessing. Let's guess. I'm guessing 50 million. Let's see. Okay, so we've got 16 million right here, but then we're also going to check how much salvage. So I'm guessing 50 million. Let's see. Salvage this. And it says 120 million, but that's because I already had a lot of stuff in here. 66 million. Okay. Decent right there. 66 million. And that didn't take a whole long time either. Oh, we don't have enough cargo space. Okay, well, what we can do right here, if we have problems with cargo space, is dump some of these. These take a lot of space right here. You can see here they take a lot of space. So we can just jettison this and grab this. Hey, grab this, please. There we go. And now we can actually just take the rest of these, as many as we can. 82 of these. Oh, menu. Please, menu. There we go. So we got some nice ISK right there. 65 million, essentially. Just from that little encounter. And we didn't get any of those Triglavian holographic transcribers right here. So we could have got some of these and got even more, actually. So this is even in the low end, I would say, from that little encounter right there. But that was pretty quick as well. It was not a whole long time as well. It took like 15 minutes, maybe? 60 million? It was pretty decent ISK right there. I think even less, perhaps. Okay, let's see now. Okay, we see some Leshaks here on the grid. That's pretty decent. So we'll go here and deploy this loot in this station. And then we'll go back out, because obviously we need some cargo space. Cargo space is quite important. My guess is that when we destroy this fleet right here, they won't spawn in so much more. And I'll have to wait a bit until new ones spawn in. But still, a lot of ISK from these guys here, especially the Leshaks, give some good salvage, I think. So I have this filter right here. You can even find this filter on my profile if you like right click on my name and look at my profile. There's this invasion loot right here filter I've got. So I just click here, take all of these, put them in the hangar. And then I take all these meta modules they've dropped as well. So now I have a bit of cargo space. Can now warp to those Leshaks. See what they're up to. Okay, so we see them on the grid here. This is also a nice system because you can see, like, you can descan the whole system because everything's within 14 AU. Sometimes you have these very big systems that are like 50 AU or something. You have to warp to be able to look at everything properly. So what I do here is just simply, very simple, go on with the warp to tab, 5 degree, and then just go on planets. So just here, nothing here, here, nothing. Yeah, there's something here. We'll go here. Simple as that. It's number 3, so we'll go here. And it's nice that with the boosters, you know, you got a whole hour, so you just use them once an hour, so you can like farm for 1 hour and then call it a day, you know, and still have fully utilized those boosters. Like, it's nice to get those good application. We get some good shield boosting capabilities as well, like 6% plus 3%, 9% effectively more shield boosting we get from that very cheap booster. Like, I think it's 1 million. The Synth blue pill costs 1 million, and this hard shell costs like 200k, so very cheap. And this is also very nice because it improves our explosion. Oh, there's a lot of ships right there. Look how cool this view looks like. Look at this planet. It looks so good. I have to position my golem so we can look at this planet all the time while we fight these Triglavians. Ooh, we got a lot of Triglavians there. Okay. Activate these multispectrums, and other Leshaks we're going to go with Rage. Bastion active, and we're going to go for this Hospodar. Hospodar liminal Leshak, no joke right there. Okay, deploy mobile tractor unit, remove the old bookmark, and start going. And then we will mark this mobile tractor unit. Okay, we'll lock up the Drekavacs. Oh, look how many liminals there are. Wow. Okay, we'll lock up all the big stuff right here. Take them out quick. Are we guidance disrupted? Yeah, we guidance disrupted. What's our range? It's important to note your range when you're being guidance disrupted, because it can happen that when you're using Rage, that you won't have the range to be able to take out these Leshaks, because the Leshaks, they orbit at 43 kilometers. You can see right here, we're at 40 kilometers. So then you would want to use a range script right here, but we don't need to use it right now. You can also, if worst case, use a Caldari Navy with the range script and the Caldari Navy. You get like, I think, almost 60 kilometers, 57, something like that. It's a very good range you get right there. So Hospodar liminal Leshak, come on, take out this guy. Okay, good. And then we take out the liminal Drekavac as well. Can have the drones as well go out to here. We can, let's see now, ghosting Leshak, Drekavac. I mean, we take this guy out next because he is causing problems for us. So then it'll be much easier. Not only just range, but also application, I believe they affect as well. So it'll make the other small stuff go a lot quicker, you know. It's good to take out those ghosting guys. I usually have biggest problems with those guys, actually. Look at this planet. It looks so epic. Yeah, but there weren't all those Leshaks fleet there. You saw there were more Leshaks? Oh, wait, we put the max scan on. See, there's more Leshaks in the system. Hey, there's a lot of ships right here. Unless they don't respawn reinforcements. Sometimes you can get these fleets and they're like, oh wow, it's a big fleet, and then they don't spawn in reinforcements. But if you see that they spawn reinforcements, then you know that, oh, these guys are serious. Because this is like just based on anecdotes, okay, but usually if I find that a fleet has reinforcements come in, then they'll spawn in more than one reinforcement. So you can expect, if you see one reinforcement wave, there's going to be multiple ones following it afterwards. Okay, we'll just like this, and after this we'll switch to Caldari Navy because there's just cruisers and smaller on the grid. Let's see, we get this liminal Dricker back here. This guidance salvage boost right there. Caldari Navy. There we go. Liminal Rodiva. No, we've got full application going on. We've not got any of these silly guidance disruptor guys. There we go. We've got some newts. Newts really are never an issue with this ship. Never an issue. I mentioned this before, but the inherent capacitor of a Marauder with 2 cat batteries is so strong that we have such a hard time getting neutered. Like, I'm not using my shield booster a lot, so we don't realize this, but even if I don't use a shield boost, I barely notice that the capacitor goes down when getting like neutered by these guys. There's not a lot of newts on the grid, but still. It's we should use a target painter. Important to use the target painter because you don't want to forget the target painter. Liminal Rodiva. Take this guy. I have a feeling that they might not spawn any reinforcement waves because usually I feel like they would have spawned in some reinforcements by now, but they haven't. Perhaps they would have to taken down more numbers. We'll see. We'll see. Only time can tell. The Triglavians are very unpredictable, and I think that's quite interesting about them as well, that they're not as predictable or extremely predictable as these, like, normal pirates are in NPCs, like the rats, the Gurstis, for example. Like DD size, stay exactly the same, pretty much every single one. The Havens, whatever, they're exactly the same, but these guys are unpredictable, and that's something I really like, and I wish that CCP could implement more stuff like this. Because like it is actually quite difficult. You have to actually properly prepare yourself with proper tank. Because I mean, I could put more DPS in this ship, but I still prepare myself because sometimes you can get really powerful spawns that spawn in. So I really like it how they're quite unpredictable right here. So you have to really prepare for the worst. So it's not like a case of just max DPS, farm these guys to oblivion. It's like you have to actually properly prepare yourself. It was nice seeing those Hospodar Liminal Leshaks right there, because the Hospodar Liminals, they give very good loot. And it's a Leshak as well, so I think Leshaks tend to give better stuff than the smaller stuff, like in terms of salvage and loot. So hopefully we'll become quite rich after this encounter right here. We got, what was that, 65 million before? I'm curious what we'll get right here. Okay, it doesn't see. I don't think they're going to be spawning in any reinforcements right here. We do have 2 Leshaks in the system right here. We'll see. Will they spawn in more reinforcements or will they not? Quite interesting. I think this stuff is pretty fun. It's not like you don't have to be as organized as incursions, because you can do this completely solo if you have got a good enough ship. It's quite difficult to do this solo, but if you've got the skills and money, you can do this solo. I think it's pretty fun because you don't have to wait for a bunch of other people. You can just get into it straight away. And also, when it comes to just Marauders in general, I like the fact that we have something that we can challenge the Marauders tank, because L formations are really no challenge for the Marauders at all. It's just max DPSing them to do them as quickly as possible. But here it is sort of like mandatory to use a Marauder here. I think perhaps a Rattlesnake might be possible, really blinged out, but with solo it feels almost like the Marauders are mandatory right here. You can do this stuff solo. I've seen people do it in like these kitey ships, like long-range ships, like a Naga, for example, the ship that can use like battleship class railguns. It is very long range, and what they do is you just warp in 100, I think, and just snipe them, and as soon as they get close, just warp out. So I think that's also a good strategy if you want to go cheap. But I don't think it's at all as quick as a Marauder, and also as good for like salvaging as well, because here we're salvaging on the go, but when you're doing it in a Naga, you would have to like go in afterwards and salvage. It'll be so much time. But obviously a Naga would be much cheaper, less skill intensive as well, so there's downsides and upsides as well to it. I think you could also use something like just a sniping battleship, even like maybe a Raven would be possible as well. Cruise missile, don't see any reason why that wouldn't be able to. But me personally, I haven't actually done that. I haven't actually tried using a kitey battleship or kitey ship in general. I've only used these Marauders, but I think it's a lot more fun to do in Marauders, because you're actually like being here in the action, tanking these guys like an absolute boss. Having to actually utilize these skills you've trained, I think is pretty fun. And also, I would say that it's less like, if you want to do this with friends, like a small group of friends, I'm not talking about a large group of friends, it'll be like better like force multiplier, how do you say it? Like it will be Like I can get 2 people to come here and do stuff in a Marauders, and we can do it in a Marauders. But if we were to, we could do stuff obviously in kiting ships, but it'll be slow. Another alternative could be if you got in a big fleet. There are people who do these in big fleets, and they have like a bunch of Logi ships and like these kind of stuff. Like the EDI guys, they run these really good fleets, like really big fleets. It's really nice what they do. But if you only got like 2 or 3 guys, usually and you want to use like Logis, usually you would have to have. Okay, it doesn't seem like they're going to spawn any reinforcements in right here. But usually you would have to have a lot of people to actually be able to tank these guys properly. But since we're in Marauders, 2 people will be able to like tank the stuff, so it'll be alright. It'll be alright. We will still like, it won't have too much issues. It'll just be like, you know, multiplying it. In fact, it'll be just easier than solo because the aggro switch from time to time, so you have actually less DPS even having to be tanked when you're 2 Marauders. I really like using the Marauders for this, but it is very expensive, very skill intensive. Okay, we've got some Leshaks here. Rasnaborg Leshak. See where these guys are. Can just salvage these guys right here. Remove this bookmark. Have we got enough space though? It's important. Okay, we've got quite a bit of cargo space. So yeah, this planet right here. This planet right here. Oh, there. Okay, go to this planet right here. Align. Okay, warp here to this planet. And we'll preemptively use Nova Rage because we see that there's a bunch of Leshaks on the grid. In fact, oh, so 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 Leshaks? Wow. Okay, this is going to be intense, guys. This is going to be intense, right? The big damage dealers in these are Leshaks, and then after Leshaks, the Vedmax. So the Leshaks are the ones that hit the hardest. I have lost a Kronos. You can even watch the video on where I talk about that and show you the wreck. I wasn't recording when I lost it, but I do show the aftermath. You can see my Kronos wreck there. It was a very sad day. But, oh, look how many ships there are right here. Oh, I hope we don't get popped right here. We've got Ghost. Have we got only 1 ghosting frigate? It's not as intense. Okay, let's lock these guys up before they can do anything really crazy. And these are Rasnaborg Leshaks, so they'll actually go down very quickly, very quickly. You'll notice here how quickly they'll go down compared to those Hospodar Liminals we fought before. There was a Hospodar Liminal Leshak, you maybe noticed before in our previous encounter. It took quite a bit of time to take down, but here it will be. You see how quickly that guy went down right here. I'm going to take this guy out right here. And I don't know if they're sleeping, because sometimes it can happen that the fleets are sleeping as well. So they don't do anything. Okay, no, they're not sleeping. Look at that guy. He's locking me up right here. Like, why are you shooting my friend? Okay, shoot this guy one volley here. And then we got this guy. Like, we've almost destroyed all these Leshaks because they're Rasnaborg ones. They're easy. They're not hard. Have we got any more Triglavians nearby? I think this is the rest of the Triglavians right here. So probably after we destroy this fleet, the system is going to be clear, and then it's going to take a bit of time until they spawn in more. Because I feel like all these fleets we fought so far, they were here in the system, like before I attacked that one at the wormhole fleet. Like I feel like I recognize this pattern of seeing a few Leshaks, etc. They're just sleeping here. Look at they're hardly doing anything. These guys hardly doing anything to us. Free ISK right here. Free ISK right here. It's quite yummy. We've destroyed pretty much all the DPS, and they weren't even able to do anything to us at all. I think that the Rasnaborgs, they're scouting sort of, and then they're like, okay, now they are actually going full aggressive. Like they are doing their scouting work, and then they're actually starting to like, oh no, we're not going to scout now. We're going to actually have to fight. Oh, let's fight now. Like they're actually having to change their objectives. Okay, no, yeah, we've destroyed almost all these guys. Now we'll go for Caldari Navy. Bit of a boost right there. Can lock up that ghosting guy as well. They're not going particularly fast, so that is nice to see. Since we got some reinforcements. Oh, okay, never mind. Oh, spicy. This is going to be spicy right here. Hopefully we don't get popped, because that's a lot of NPCs. A lot of NPCs right there. Let's lock up the Leshak. Cruiser. Just take out the cruisers, the battle cruisers, and the battleships as well, especially the battleships, and you will have a good time in these, because that's where all the DPS is lying, in the battleships, battle cruisers, and cruisers. Number 1, Leshaks. Number 2, Vedmax. Number 3, I think, is Drekavax. Okay, no, we've already started shooting this guy. I wanted to preferably shoot this guy with Caldari Navy, but it's alright. I mean, Rage. Okay, let's see here. You can see that these guys here, the medium ones, they take a bit longer to get in range because they have to be pulled in by the mobile tractor unit a bit slower because they're like orbiting further away. So that's why it take a bit longer time to come in. Notice the Damaviks, they will actually come in very quickly because they're only orbiting at 6K, so it takes very little time for my mobile tractor unit to pull them in. So that's why this Triglavian right here can come in very handy, where you just pull these guys right in right here. Just lock up these guys here, put some target paint on this guy. Rodivas will take them out as well. Okay, pretty simple right there. Let's see if we pull this one right in here. Pulley. Being a little bit of a pulley, this tractor beam. Oh, we got low shields. Need to boost up a little bit. There we go. Harrowing Vedmak, take him out. This guy especially needs to be pulled in. This one right here, 42 kilometers. So that we can get some that Leshak in, because it's going to take a long time for it to get tracted in. Start salvaging this one. What have we got here? Some more frigates. Have they got reinforcements, or they're just aggroing now, these frigates right here on destroyers? Destroyers especially will go down very fast because they have, like, they're bigger than frigates. They go down very quickly when you've got the application with the precision script and the target painter and the Caldari navy. I don't think they're going to spawn in anymore right here, but that was interesting to see that we got like quite a big incoming fleet right there. That was a lot of ships that we had at one point, but the Triglavian is a little bit slow, so it's alright. Can use our tractor beam to pull in the ones that are further away, since it pulls in quite fast. So then we utilize this, like, take most advantage of it when the tractor beam pulls in stuff that's furthest away, so our mobile tractor unit doesn't have to work overtime. Lock up all these frigates right here. I have a bit of a routine to have like 7,000 of each torpedo every time I go out here, so there's no risk of me losing, like running out of ammunition during these, because every time I have to go out with a full stock. My full stock, I consider that to be 7,000 Rage Torpedoes, 7,000 Caldari Navies, because it will be like a worst nightmare to be and do these, and then have it so that you run out of ammo, and then you've got some kind of tackle guy on the grid, because you will need ammo. You won't be enough with your drones because they have remote reps, so that you have to have a lot of DPS often to when there's a lot of NPCs on the grid to take them out. Now it's going to be a steamroll of these guys. Can just stick all these frigates right. He'll go with the Ghoster right here, who's going to make application a little bit worse. Lock up all these wrecks right here. There we go. Got the salvages going on. Go pulse the booster. Simple as that, simple as that. These are a lot stronger, I feel like, than the previous Triglavian fleets we had during the invasion. Like, this is a new thing. Before, during the invasion, like when the actual Triglavian invasion, like the full invasion occurred, then you would have these roaming fleets, but they wouldn't be like as big as these. I feel like they would be a lot smaller. So it is nice to have something a bit more challenging. Some people, maybe it's a bit annoying, because I can imagine a lot of people, they want to do this, but they have to really invest in a lot of big stuff. But then again, you can use a kiting ships if you have low skills. And in fact, I might even try it out sometime just to see what is possible. So maybe I can recommend some fits for you guys who are like a bit new to this and want to just give this a little try. I think that'll be a good thing, actually. Not just for, like, not really for myself, but just for other people who want to get into this activity, because especially like using a Marauder, it's going to take you forever to train this, and also to buy this as well is pretty expensive. I got some expensive implants too, so it's a pretty like high barrier of entry to do it the way I'm doing it right now. But if you were to use something like a kiting ship, like a Naga, an Alpha clone could even do that. We might even test with Mr. Agro Brutal, who is my Alpha ult. We can see what he can do in this Triglavian hunting. That'll be pretty fun to see if he is able to do this solo. Salvage operation is going pretty well right here. Salvaging stuff in, but we are accumulating a bit of wrecks, but it's alright. Not too bad. We've got even more fleets right here. Never mind, they seem to be like respawning, I think. But I think that is enough fleets for now. We're just going to see how much is the total haul from these two encounters we had recently. Oh, no, do not deploy salvage drones while they're Triglavians on grid. Oh, they're going to snipe them real fast. They have no mercy on the salvage drones, these Triglavians. They don't like you salvaging the dead wrecks of their comrades. There we go. Now there's no more. Okay, good. We can go and split the drones off. Tech 2 salvage drones, pretty strong drones for salvaging. I can have them assist our salvages. Salvages, I think, are better than the Tech 2, an individual Tech 2 salvage drone, but still, it's nice to have these salvage drones to help our main salvages. There we go. Is there something over here? We can take this. Yeah, this is going. Salvage operation goes very quickly when you've got the good drones and the good salvage skills. Yeah, Rex just disintegrating here because of how quick we're doing the salvaging. Quite nice to see. This Rex seems to be taking quite a bit of time to salvage right here. This last one. There we go. Usually it's like that. The last one takes a bit of extra time. Let's see now. How much did they pull in right here? Here. Okay, 10 million. How much salvage did we get? Okay, it seems like it's a decent amount. Let's see now. 60 million. Okay, and then we also got like 20. Was that 20 or 30 million? I think 20-something million for that first encounter. Or the second encounter, I guess. Oh, we don't have the space. How much space do we... Oof, we don't have a lot of space at all. Stack this all. Put the jettison some of these guys. Can grab this. Now we can take all the ones we can fit in here. There we go. And align back to the station. And move this mobile tractor bookmark just to not get confused later. And we'll see what the total like haul is from like these last few sites we've been doing, or last few Triglavian encounters. It's some good ISK. I really like it. It's some decently good ISK you can get from doing these. Especially if you like find good fleets, because the ones we found so far, I mean, they've been decent, but sometimes you can get ones that respawn because time goes into that doesn't give ISK. That when you go travel around to, you know, these different to get to these fleets, it takes time, and this time is not spent killing. And if you don't have time spent killing, then it won't be generating ISK by giving salvage. So that's why when you have them respawn directly on top of each other, because sometimes you can have them respawn like 4, 5, 6 even times. So you just get so many NPCs from one encounter. I remember having one encounter that lasted like half an hour, almost 40 minutes once. It's respawned so many times. Those give crazy ISK, like much more than we did right now. And also if you were to get those Triglavian holographic transcribers or something else, oof, be very nice. Okay, we'll take all this loot right here, put this in here. You got also some kind of meta modules as well. We'll take them. Anything we're using? No. Put them in here. We've got 139 million here, so decent ISK right here, decent ISK. Some casual ISK we just got like that. I mean, obviously we've got this cloaking device here, and it's these cargo hold expanders that I had from before that I was using in my Golem, but 100+ million ISK. We've got 130 at least million ISK. So I'm pretty happy with that. And I think that's enough for now. We'll probably do some more Triglavian farming later. But either way, hope you guys enjoyed the video right here. Hope I could inspire you to do some Triglavian hunting yourself. If you did enjoy the video, please leave a like and subscribe. I'll catch you guys later.